Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I have a beautiful 40-minute Pilates ball workout for you. We are focusing on your abs, glutes, legs, and a little bit of shoulder stability. All right, let's get started. So we're going to start laying on your back in a neutral spine and stretch out your hamstrings. So T-zone tight and then draw one leg towards you. Trying to keep that leg straight, but you can bend the knee if you need. Try to keep your hips nice and square on the mat and your back in neutral, so your bottom isn't tucking up and off the mat. Try to keep it connected to the ground. This will stretch your hamstrings. So inhale, make sure your T-zone is tight, and then exhale, draw the leg towards you as far as possible, keeping the tailbone down. So if you don't know what I mean by your T-zone, please check out my Pilates Basics video linked below. Great work. One more breath. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, draw that leg closer towards you. And then let's swap sides. And like I always remind you, when you're stretching or working the muscles, you should just feel the muscles working. You should never feel any back, hip, neck, or joint pain. And when you're stretching, it's a nice gentle stretch. You don't need to force the muscles. Just let the muscles relax into the stretch. Excellent. Hold this position. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale. See if you can draw it a tiny bit closer towards you. Okay, let's get stuck into your first Pilates ball exercise today, and this is the double leg slides. This works your abdominal muscles. So let's start laying on your back in a neutral spine with your hands by your side, shoulders back and down, chin tucked in. You're just going to place the balls of your feet on the Pilates ball, drawing your deep abdominal muscles, and then you're going to roll the ball out. So it's an exhale to roll the ball out and an inhale to roll it back in. The main aim here is to keep your deep abdominal muscles tight to prevent your hips from rocking, and really draw your ribs to hips to prevent your back from arching. You're only going to roll the ball out as far as you can without the back arching. So as you're exhaling, draw the ribs to hips, roll the ball out, and then as you inhale, roll the ball back in with control. So go as far as you can without the back arching, and then roll it back in with control. Beautiful work. Keep your knees facing up towards the ceiling. You don't want them falling outwards. And you want to try to keep that ball rolling in a nice straight line. Excellent. Keep that going. Keep the control. Exhale to roll the ball away from the body. Inhale to roll it back in. You're doing amazing. Last slide out and in. Well done. Okay, next we're going into abdominal curls in tabletop. This works your abdominal muscles and your inner thighs. So imprint your spine, bring your legs into tabletop, place the ball between the inner thighs, just above the knees, and then have your hands interlace at the base of your head, relaxing your head gently into your hands, elbows wide, shoulders back and down, and chin tucked in. So inhale, T-zone, and slightly squeeze on the ball, and then exhale, you're going to curl the body up using your abdominals to draw your ribs towards your hips. Inhale to come back down. That's it. So really use your abdominals to curl your body up to shorten the distance between the ribs and hips, and then inhale to slowly control back down. Excellent. Keep that going. Keep the inner thighs working by gently squeezing on the ball, and then really use your abdominals, not your arms or neck, to curl the body up. Now you want to keep the hips nice and stable, so keep that T-zone tight. That's it. Keep your head relaxed back into your hands, shoulders back and down, chin tucked in to keep your neck relaxed. Now, if you want to make it easier, you can not squeeze on the ball as much, and you can also pop your feet on the ground. Just note, if your feet are on the ground, your spine is then in a neutral spine position. Otherwise, if your feet are in tabletop, imprint that spine and continue on, curl the body up, trying to get your shoulder blades off the ground, and then control back down. Beautiful work. So just check your head is relaxing gently into your hands with your chin tucked in, your shoulders back and down, and your elbows wide. So you're not using momentum, you're not using your arms, you're not pulling on your head. You're using your abdominals to pull you up. Awesome work. Okay, next we've got the oblique curl. So next time you curl the body up, you're going to come up and across. So right rib cage to left hip bone, and then come back down. And then the other way, left rib cage to right hip bone, and then come back down. So like before, it's an exhale to curl the body up and an inhale to control back down. That's it. You really want to keep your legs nice and still and the hips still. So keep that T-zone tight, keep your belly scooped. And just note, when your legs are in tabletop, there's a 90-degree at the hip and knee and the toes are pointed. Excellent. So exhale, curl the body up and across. Inhale to come back to center. Now, if you want to make it easier, you don't have to come up as high. If you want to make it harder, you're going to really curl the body up and across. That's it. If you want to make it harder, again, you can squeeze on the ball a little bit more. And if you're up for the challenge, we're going to stay up and keep that curl up. And we're going to go right rib cage to left hip bone, come back to center, but keep the curl. And then left rib cage to right hip bone, and then come back to center, but keep the curl. That's it. Stay up. Feel those abs working. Nice work. You only got a few to go. Keep that curl up. Keep those shoulder blades off the ground. We're nearly there. Exhale to curl across. Inhale to come back to center. Keep those hips and legs nice and still. Keep the belly scooped. Keep the shoulder blades back and down. Use your abdominals to curl up and across, not your arms. Not momentum. Okay, and they are done. Well done. Reset your ball or legs if you need, and keep your legs in tabletop and the ball between the inner thighs. We're going to do the inner thigh squeeze, and funnily enough, this works your inner thighs. Okay, so inhale T-zone and exhale, you're going to squeeze the knees together, squeezing on the ball. Inhale, release the ball. So you want to keep the legs in tabletop so the knees are still directly above the hips. You want to use both legs evenly and keep both buttocks on the ground. Now, to make it easier, you don't have to squeeze on the ball as much, or like I'm doing, you can put both feet on the ground and continue on with the inner thigh squeeze. Otherwise, legs in tabletop, exhale, squeeze on the ball, inhale, release. If you want to make it harder, you can squeeze on the ball harder. You can hold the squeeze for longer, and you don't have to release the ball as much in between. So keep your T-zone tight, so make sure your belly is scooping. You don't want your abdominals to pop out. That's it. Make sure your spine is imprinted and you're keeping your tailbone down on the ground so your butt isn't tucking up and off the ground. Make sure your knees are not coming too close towards your chest. Again, you want to keep your knees above the hips. Excellent work. Keep this going. Okay, last squeeze on the Pilates ball, and they are done. Well done. Okay, next we're going into hundreds preparation. This again works your abdominal muscles and your inner thighs. So we're going to place the Pilates ball between the shins, just above the ankles. And again, we're laying on your back with your legs in tabletop, with your spine imprinted. This time, pop your arms straight up towards the ceiling with your palms facing the legs. So as you exhale, you're going to curl the body up, send your hands past your hips, really stretching through the fingertips, and lengthen your legs to the sky, pointing through the toes, squeezing on the ball slightly. That's it. Inhale, come back to the starting position. So exhale, curl the body up, shortening the ribs to the hips, stretching through the fingertips and the toes. Inhale to come back to the starting position. Excellent. So just make sure your T-zone is tight, your belly is scooping, you're really trying to flatten out your abdominals, and try to keep your hips on the ground so your butt isn't tucking under off the mat. If your hamstrings are super tight, you can even keep your legs in tabletop and just focus on the curling up and curling down. That's completely fine too. Otherwise, curl the body up, stretch through the limbs, and then come back down to the starting position. Beautiful work. Keep that going. That's it. Exhale as you curl the body up, shortening the ribs to the hips. Inhale to control back down. And of course, shoulders back and down, chin is tucked in. I hope you're having a beautiful day wherever you are. I'm super proud of you making this time to look after your body today. You should be feeling super proud of yourself. Okay, next we're going into bicycles. This works your abdominal muscles. This time, grab the Pilates ball with your hands and place your legs back into tabletop. This time you're going to curl the body up and hold this position, keeping your hands and the Pilates ball just above the knees. While keeping this curled position, keep your T-zone tight, belly scooped, and then we're going to extend one leg out at a time. So one leg goes out away from the body and then comes back to tabletop. Then swap legs. That's it. Exhale to extend the leg out. Inhale to bring it back to tabletop. Now, if you have any issues with the neck in this position, just come back and rest the upper body on the ground and continue on with your leg extensions. Otherwise, curl the body up, ribs to hips, hold this position. Now, to make it easier, you can not extend the leg out as far and aim higher. To make it harder, really stretch the legs and lower the legs. Just making sure you're not arching through your back. Imprint the spine, keep the ribs to hips, and really keep the T-zone tight. Scoop out the belly. That's it. Exhale to lower the leg. Inhale to bring it back to tabletop. Beautiful work. And they are done. Okay, we're moving on to some glute work. So we're doing the pelvic curls with the Pilates ball in between the thighs. So place the Pilates ball just in between the thighs above the knees. Keep your T-zone tight. You want to push the heels, squeeze on the ball slightly. You're going to exhale, tuck the tailbone under, roll the spine off the mat, one vertebra at a time. That's it. Really keep your ribs to hip connection so you're not arching through the lower back at the top. Inhale here, and then exhale to roll it back down one vertebra at a time. That's it. So laying back on the mat, inhale, T-zone tight, and then exhale to roll it back up again. That's it. Really focus on not arching your back at the top. Keep the connection between the ribs and the hips. Keep your T-zone tight. Inhale at the top. Exhale to roll it back down. Nice work. So keep breathing. Keep drawing in your T-zone. Keep that core tight. Excellent. Push through the heels to activate your glutes. Keep your shoulders back and down, chin tucked in, and smile. You've got this. You're doing amazing. Exhale to roll it up. Inhale to hold. Exhale to roll it down. Inhale to pause. Exhale to roll it up. Keep it going. Nice work. So we're working your glutes, core, and inner thighs. That's it. Keep it going. Okay, the next pelvic curl, I want you to hold at the top and pause. From here, push through the heels. Make sure you're drawing your ribs to your hips so your core is tight. And then we're going to exhale, squeeze on the ball using your inner thighs. Inhale to release. That's it. Keep it going. Exhale to squeeze on the ball. Inhale to release. So we're working your glutes, core, and inner thighs. That's it. Keep your shoulders back and down, chin tucked in, and keep these going. That's it. Push through the heels. Make sure you're not rolling into the toes. You want those glutes activated. You want to draw your ribs to hips so you're not arching through your lower back. You want to keep your T-zone tight. That's it. We're nearly there. Keep it going. Okay, last squeeze on the Pilates ball, and then we're going to roll it back down one vertebra at a time. Well done. Okay, we're going to stay with the pelvic curls and work your glutes, core, and inner thighs, but this time we're doing single leg lifts. So roll your spine back up off the mat one vertebra at a time and hold the glute bridge position. So remember, at the top of this glute bridge position, you're making a straight line from the knees to the shoulders. Keep your ribs to hips. That's it. Really push through your heels. Keep your T-zone tight. Keep your ribs to hips. From here, we're going to dig one foot into the mat, activating your glutes, and then extend the other leg in line with the rest of the body. That's it. Inhale to pop your foot back on the ground. Exhale to extend the other leg in line with the rest of the body. Beautiful. Make sure you're pushing through the heels to keep the glutes firing. Keep breathing. It's an inhale as you place the foot on the ground and an exhale as you extend the leg. Awesome work. So you want to stabilize the spine and the hips. Really activate your core and your glutes. Now, if you're finding your hips are rocking, your spine's moving, just go back to the pelvic curl opening that we did just before. Otherwise, extend one leg at a time, really keeping your hips nice and stable. You may want to pop your hands on your hips to get some sort of feedback to see if your hips are staying still. That's it. Keep this going. Nice work. Excellent work. So let's go 3 more of these leg lifts. That's it. Keep drawing your ribs to hips, pushing through the heels, T-zone tight, and both feet on the ground, and then slowly roll it back down 1 vertebra at a time. Nice work. Okay, we're continuing on with the glute work, but we're going to be on your elbows doing the bent leg raise. So pop the ball behind your knee, and then you want to prop yourself up on the elbow. The elbow is directly under your shoulders, and your shoulders pulling back and down, and you're really trying to maintain that neutral spine and the body facing square to the front. So you can pop your top hand on your hip and push that hip away to keep your hips square, so both sides of the waist are equal. You don't want your waist sagging down towards the ground. Again, shoulders back and down, chin tucked in. Inhale, T-zone, squeeze on the ball slightly, squeeze the glute, and then exhale, you're going to lift that top leg up slowly, separating the knees and the feet, and then lower on the inhale. So exhale, lift the leg, inhale, lower. Beautiful work. Keep that going. So only raise the leg as high as you can without letting the hips rock. You want to keep the hips nice and stable, spine stable, nothing moves but that leg. That's it. Push that top hip away, keep the spine in neutral. Beautiful work. If it is too much to be on the arm, say your neck is fatiguing, shoulders fatiguing, just check your shoulders are pulling back and down, your chin is tucked in. If that's still irritating anything, you can also go laying on the ground with the arm extended out underneath your head. Just remember, in either position, you want your neutral spine, so you want to keep both sides of the waist even. You don't want to sag down with the waist. Nice work. Exhale to open, inhale to lower. Okay, now we're going into sweep. So keep that leg hip height, and we're going to inhale, sweep the leg forward, exhale, sweep the leg back. So same thing as before, we're trying to keep the hip and spine stable, and we're only moving the leg. So really make the core and the glutes work. That's it. So keep the hips stable, keep the sides of the waist equal, keep the shoulders pulling back and down, and then inhale to sweep the leg forward, hip height, and then exhale to sweep it back. Now, to make it harder, you can make the sweeps bigger, but just make sure you're not tucking the tailbone under and letting the butt tuck under as the leg comes forward, and you're not arching the back as the leg goes back. You want to really maintain that neutral spine. That's it. Really squeeze on the ball to keep the ball locked in behind the knee. Now, I know I'm in Greece and it's super hot, and so I'm sweating up a storm and my ball's getting slippery. Squeeze on the ball. That's it. Inhale to sweep the leg forward. Exhale to sweep it back. Again, if you do want to rest the upper body on the ground, that is your choice. You can do so. Now the glutes should be burning, but just check now that we're probably fatiguing a little bit that the leg is still sitting at hip height. It hasn't lowered and sagged down. And make sure your shoulders are pulling back and down, chin tucked in, and your head's not hanging towards the ground. That's it. Lift the waist. Keep that spine in neutral. That's it. Keep breathing. Inhale to sweep the leg forward. Exhale to sweep the leg back. Okay, next we're going to actually lay on the side with the arm extended long underneath the head. And we're going into rotation. So here we keep that leg at hip height again, the spine in neutral. We're going to inhale, tap the knees. Exhale, tap the heels. So you're going through that horizontal position. So it's horizontal, then tap the knee, horizontal, then tap the feet. That's it. Inhale to tap the knees, exhale to tap the feet. Beautiful work. Keep it going. To make it harder, you can open the leg further. Just again, make sure your hips aren't rolling forward and back. And then to make it easier, you don't have to rotate the leg as far. Keep the movement a little bit smaller. That's it. Keep it going. Just make sure you've got the gap between the waist and the floor. The hips are stacked. The shoulders are stacked. Shoulders are pulling back and down. Chin tucked in. Excellent work. These glutes should be on fire. That's it. Keep it going. We've only got a few to go. Fabulous work. One more of tapping the knee and then tapping the feet. And we're done. Well done. Let's do that all on the other side. So we're going to spin it around and we're going to do your bent leg raise with the Pilates ball behind the knee. And this one we're doing on the elbows, but again, just do what you did on the other side to keep the body even. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so prop yourself up on your elbow. Your elbow should be directly under your shoulders. Your shoulders should be pulling back and down, chin tucked in. Make sure you're in a neutral spine and push that top hip away so both sides of your waist are equal. T-zone tight. Now squeeze on the ball, squeeze the glute, and then lift the leg on the exhale. Inhale to lower it back down. Beautiful work. So again, really try to keep that spine still so it's not moving. Keep the hips stable so the hip isn't lifting. So just have a look at the side of your waist. The side of the waist should not be shortening. Beautiful work. Keep this going. Doing amazing. Just think how strong your glutes are getting. Okay, last one of your bent leg raise, and then we're moving on to your sweeps. Well done. Okay, so just reset your shoulders back and down, chin tucked in, neutral spine, and then lift that leg to hip height. Then it's an inhale to sweep the leg forward and an exhale to sweep it back. Again, keep the spine stable, keep the core super tight so the hips aren't rocking. That's it, and you really should be feeling those glutes work. You're doing amazing. Keep this going. Now just check you're working those shoulder stability muscles and pulling those shoulders back and down so your shoulders aren't up near your ears. We want to build the body in a nice posture. So we want those shoulders pulling back and down, chin tucked in, neck long. Excellent work. Beautiful work. Okay, replace the ball if you need. And then we're going into your rotations, laying with your arm extended out and your head resting on the arm. Okay, so push that top hip away, keep the gap between the waist and the floor, keep that leg at hip height. Then it's an inhale to tap the knees, come back to center, and an exhale to tap the heels. Beautiful work. Inhale to tap the knees, exhale to tap the heels. Beautiful. Keep this going. Just make sure your shoulders are pulling back and down. T-zone is tight, ribs are to hips, so you're not arching through your back. Beautiful. You are doing so good. You have been working super hard. These glutes have got such a workout today. We've worked your core, your glutes, and we are soon to go onto your legs. But let's just finish off these rotations. We've got one to go. Tap the knees, then tap the heels, and they are done. Well done. Okay, next we're doing squats with the Pilates ball under the feet. Now this is optional. If your ball is too big or too small, it may not work for you, or if you don't feel comfortable with your heels on the Pilates ball, that is completely fine. Just do a normal squat and hold the Pilates ball in your hand. So both feet will be on the ground. Otherwise, we're doing squats with the Pilates ball under the feet. This works your legs, glutes, and calves. Note you may want to use the wall for balance. That is optional. Okay, so we're going to place the heels on top of the Pilates ball, feet slightly apart and facing forward. Now, just note you really want to come up onto your tippy toes as far as possible, so most of your weight should be through the balls of your feet, not the heels. Okay, so most of the weight through the tippy toes. Okay, you're in a neutral spine position with your core tight, ribs to hips, and your shoulders back and down. So you're going to squat down. Again, keep the weight through the tippy toes. Good. Raise your arms to shoulder height. Then keep your core tight, squeeze your glutes, and stand back up. Squeeze the shoulders back and down and lower the arms to the side. Beautiful work. So let's keep these going. So inhale to squat down. Exhale to squeeze back up. So as you will find, this really works your balance. One more, and then we're going to hold down at the bottom of your squat. That's it. Keep on the tippy toes, keep the tummy tight, shoulders back and down. Hold that position. You're doing so good. 3, 2, 1. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your core, and come back up. Nice work. Okay, next we're going to do frog squats with the Pilates ball under the feet. So the same thing, but now our feet are turned out. So the heels are on the ball, touching together, and the feet are turned out around 45 degrees. So exactly the same as before. We're going to inhale to squat down, keep the neutral spine, exhale to squeeze the glutes and to drive back up. That's it. Really focus on your balance. Really keep the weight through the tippy toes. Keep the ribs to hips so your back isn't arching. Nice work. Keep breathing. Inhale to come down. Exhale to drive up. Nice work. The knees are turning out to keep in line with the toes. So remember, when you're squatting and lunging, the knee should be in the same direction as the middle toe. Good work. So really working the glutes, the core, the legs. Keep these going. Inhale to go down. Exhale to come up. If you want to make it harder, you can squat a little deeper, raise the arms a little higher, squeeze back a little more. If you want to make it easier, you don't have to squat down as far, or you can just do the squat standing on the ground. Okay, let's come down and hold, not for long, just a few seconds. Let's do it. 5, 4, 3, keep the tummy tight, squeeze the glutes, 2 and 1. Well done. Hope you love that as much as I did. Okay, next we're doing Supermans, and this works your glutes, core, and your posture muscles. So you're going to stand on one leg and then hold the ball in the hand of that leg that you're standing on. And the other leg goes back, toes pointed, and just resting on the ground behind you. Then lean your body forward. Keep your T-zone tight and keep your back in neutral. Inhale T-zone, and then exhale, you're going to lift the arm and leg without arching your back. Inhale to lower them back to where you got them. That's it. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Really good. This works your glutes, so squeeze your glutes. Make sure that's doing the work, not your back. You want to keep your ribs to hips so your back is not arching, and also keep your hips nice and square to the front. Make sure they're not rotating or dipping to the side. Awesome. Just check the knee that you're standing on is facing straight in the direction that your middle toe is facing in. Also, you don't want the knee collapsing in or out. Beautiful. That's it. Work those glutes. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. To make this harder, you can kick the leg back further or lean the body further forward. To make it easier, you don't have to lean as far forward. And if you need the balance, you can always hold the wall for balance. Okay, let's do the other side. Exactly the same thing. So T-zone tight, ribs to hips. Exhale to lift. Inhale to control back down. Beautiful work. So make this movement nice and smooth and controlled. Really firing up those glutes. That's it. Keep checking your hips are nice and square. They're nice and level. Watch that knee is staying aligned with the middle toe. Make sure your ribs are to hips. You're not arching through your back. That's it. Squeeze your glute as you lift that leg. Good. You're doing so well. Keep your shoulders back and down, chin tucked in. Well done. Next, we have scooters. I love scooters. This works your glutes and a little bit of your legs. So we're going to start standing on one leg, bend that knee, and then the other leg is out behind you with your toes on the ball. We're going to lean forward but keep that neutral spine. Shoulders back and down, chin tucked in. T-zone tight, ribs to hips. Okay, so you're going to exhale, roll the ball back. Inhale, roll it back in. So we're really working that stabilizing leg and glute. That's it. Really focus on keeping your hips square, the knee in line with the middle toe, and keeping that neutral spine. Really good. Exhale to roll the ball back. Inhale to roll it forward. Okay, to make these harder, you can roll back that Pilates ball further behind you, or you can bend that leg, bend the knee that you're standing on a little bit more. To make it easier, you don't have to roll the ball as far and you don't have to bend that front knee as much. Okay, let's go to the other leg and do it on the other side. So leaning forward with a neutral spine. Keep the hips nice and square. Keep your T-zone tight. That's it. Exhale to roll it back. Inhale to roll it forward. Really good. You should be feeling the buttocks working, mostly of the standing leg. That's it. Feel those glutes work. Roll it out, roll it in, and they are done. Well done. Okay, next we're going into a roll down into a plank. So standing up super tall with a neutral spine, T-zone tight, we're going to imagine you're standing up against a wall. And we're going to roll the spine down one vertebra at a time, imagining you're peeling yourself off the wall. So first it's the head, then it's the upper back, then mid back, lower back, until you're hanging with your fingertips towards the ground. Nice work. So from here, you can bend the knees if you need, and then you're going to walk your hands out until you get to your high plank position, where your hands are directly under your shoulders. In the high plank position, you should have a straight line from the crown of your head through your hips to your feet. Lift the upper spine, so your upper spine is meeting your shoulder blades. Keep your ribs to hips T-zone tight. And then we're going to squeeze one glute at a time and lift the leg. That's it. So keep the foot flexed, squeeze the glute and lead with the heel, squeezing one leg up at a time, keeping the hips nice and stable so the hips aren't rocking. That's it. Keep that T-zone tight, ribs to hips. That's it. Making sure you're not arching your back as you lift the leg. Keep your ribs to hip connection. That's it. Well done. One to go. Nice work. That workout is done. You smashed it. Well done. Okay, we're just going to finish off with a couple of stretches. Okay, first we have your prayer stretch. This stretches under your arms and maybe your lower back if it's tight. So just kneeling on the ground with your hands on top of the ball in front of you. Knees are hip width distance apart, and you're going to just sit your hips back onto your heels as you roll the ball forward as far as possible, and then lower the chest down towards the ground. Really stretch out through your arms, straightening those elbows, and let your body relax down towards the ground. Keep your hips sitting onto your heels. That's it. Keep your T-zone tight and really stretch out the arms as far as possible. Beautiful work. Okay, keep your core tight and slowly roll on up out of that one. Nice work. Okay, our last stretch today is the mermaid stretch. So this stretches the side body and the lower back. So you just want to sit up tall, sitting on your sit bones with your legs bent out to the same direction, with the sole of your foot resting on the thigh. That's it. Now hold the ball in the outside arm. Then we're going to inhale, T-zone, and lift the arm up overhead. And then exhale, lean to the side, stretching down the side body, really stretching and reaching through the arm so you feel it stretch down the side body. Nice work. Inhale, bring the body and arm back upright. And then exhale, you can lean over again. Really good. Keep the T-zone tight, keep the ribs to hips. You can even pop your other arm on the thigh to enhance the stretch. This is such a beautiful side body stretch. I love it. Nice work. Okay, let's do that on the other side. So sitting up nice and tall, legs bent out to the other side. Beautiful. Make sure you're sitting on both sit bones. Then inhale, lift the arm up, and exhale, lean over to the side. Beautiful. Keep that going. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, see if you can stretch a little further. And guess what? You are done. Well done. I hope you loved today's Pilates ball workout. I definitely did. Please leave a comment below. Let me know how you went. And I can't wait to see you next time. Bye for now. Oh, and remember to like and subscribe. Okay, see you next time.